Hello everyone, welcome to the week number 4 of Database Management course. This is the lecture video and I am sharing with you the Blackboard for the week number 4 and the usual format. There is the objectives for this week, there is the instructional material, and then there are two assignments, one from the MCSA activities and one from the Zybook. The goal for this week is to install the AdventureWorks database, sample database in SQL Server, and specifically also understand how to create a database instance. The lesson plan for this week is posted for you, kind of going over the instructional material here. I will replace this lecture video from last term with the one that I'm recording right now. There are a few other resources here posted for you and for you to refer to as you're doing your assignments this week. I will go over these assignments a little bit later, but when you click on the week number 4 lesson plan, it should come up like this. So let me kind of get rid of this for now, and let me go over this with you. Okay. Okay. So I mentioned to you about the top portion. So here, the first assignment is to do the lab activities from the MCSA lab book. As the objective for this week, or the goal for this week, highlighted, one of the major things that you will be doing is to do the last portion of the series of installations, and that is to install the AdventureWorks database. All right. So this lab activity will take you through the steps, and there is a how to install AdventureWorks document posted in the Blackboard. So let me see if I can show that to you. So so here's the lab activity 3-1, how to install AdventureWorks. And there's also a frequently asked questions as well. And there are a few other ones. But anyway, let me show you how that looks like. So if you go into the Windows, the virtual machine, and you start off the Studio, I've already installed, so it should show, but I wanted to show you how it looks like. So if you click on the database, here's the sample database that we're trying to install, right? So after you expand it, here's a whole bunch of tables that you get to use that is already built. Because if you don't have this one, you don't have a sample database to play with. So this would be our play database. But you can look at some of these. Any one of these here, you can click on it, right click on it, select the top 1000 rows, and it'll pull up for you. It'll write the script for you, and then kind of gives you all this, right? So we'll play with these guys. You can also do the right one on this guy, and then it'll give you all this stuff. All right. So I'll go through that and make sure you get this one populated. There are a couple of highlights that I do wanted to mention to you. So let me bring that up. There are two things to highlight from you for you. So when you go and look at the how to install the AdventureWorks, so let me kind of look at that. So here's the detailed instruction how to do that. Make sure you get this one okay. All right. So, but you should also look at the FAQ, because when you are looking at that, basically what you're doing is you're downloading the AdventureWorks, and you're going to import it, this file here, insta DBO, into the SQL Server Studio. And when you get into that, the steps will tell you you need to update these two locations. Make sure you update them according to where you find the data. So, like for the top one, you will be, let me see if I can actually demo this. Actually, there is a video demo here, so take a look at that, YouTube. All right. So this may be a little bit tricky, but be sure to look at all those material that I posted for you. How to install FAQs, particularly I give you where it should come from and where they should be located. Okay, so pay attention to this diagram. Okay, all right, and then when you run it, you should get a successful completion. If you didn't do this right, it'll fail right away. Just another thing to kind of note is, be sure that your path ends with the slash at the end, right? So pay attention to some of these details. Okay. Activity 3-2 is just learning how to navigate using the Management Studio, so that should be pretty straightforward. Activity of 4-2 is showing you how to create a database. This is really simple. I mean, like when you get in there, all you have, I've already created a couple of the databases here, but all you have to do is to right click on them and just click on new database, and then you just got to give it a name, right? So here's a sample DB, and then just click OK. Here's a sample DB, right? So it gives you a skeletal structure of a database. So of course you got to fill it and populate and all that stuff, but creating a baseline database is really simple. Of course there are different ways of doing that, and some of that is explained in the activity 4-2. You can do some of the extra credit activities if you like. Just be sure to note them when you do them. There is a second assignment from Zybook, so let me kind of take you over there and see how that looks like. But when you do them, make sure you click over here to get over there, right? Otherwise, if you log directly into the Zybooks, your grade will not sync. But I'm just going to go there directly because I wanted to kind of show you. I just want you to do the 3.1. So let me get over to here, 3.1. So this portion is talking about the entities, relationships, and attributes. It may overlap with some other activities that you're doing, but it goes over entity as a mainly as a table, relationship about how the tables are related with one another, and attribute is a descriptive property of the particular table. So kind of look through these. It should give you a good overview of that. We are going to talk about the entity relationship diagram, which namely the Lucidchart, and using that chart we're going to create these relationships next week. All right, so hopefully that kind of gives you a good broad exposure as to what they are and how they're going to be used. All right, so let me get back over to here. I think that's all we have for this week here. So again, this will be the last portion of the installation series, and go through the activities accordingly. All right. That should be all for this week. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Otherwise, I'll be looking forward to receiving your work. All right. Take care.